How can meetings reveal whether a business is overly dependent on the owner? Simple. If every meeting ends with, let me decide that, let me run it by Dave first, I'll handle it later, then the business has become owner-centric instead of system-centric. Let your employees do what you employ them for. Give them remit. Let them, give them a budget of up to 500 quid to spend. Depends how big your business is, obviously. But give them a budget of £5,000 if that's what they're going to spend. If you're employing someone to be a senior manager, give them a reasonable budget and allow them to spend it where the business needs it. By the way, if I'm just talking to myself, please drop a message in the comments saying you can actually hear me. I do wonder sometimes whether this is really live or whether I'm just sat talking to myself. Why is constant availability dangerous? I'll tell you why. You train your clients, you train your staff, you train your suppliers to rely on instant access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Set boundaries. It gets rid of dependency, it reduces your exhaustion, and it creates a good leadership habit. So when I was running the largest business I ran, which was the insurance brokerage, I broke my diary down into 6 individual parts in a day. And I had elements where I was available and elements where I was unavailable. And I didn't care if the building was on fire. Do not ring me when I am unavailable. Ring the fire brigade. It was that simple. I would turn my mobile phone off. I would take my desk phone off the hook, and I would sit and do the things I had to do. Financial services compliance is an absolute nightmare. It did this to me. The stress did that when I was in my 30s, and then the rest of it's just fallen out since as a result of that stress. That and having grandchildren, that really helps you go bald quick, I tell you. There were times in the day where I had to concentrate on doing reports for the regulator. If I didn't, they would shut our business. That taught me to create really firm boundaries. I didn't answer the phone to clients at the weekend. I didn't answer the phone to suppliers at the weekend, or email, or post. The only people I responded to at the weekend were my staff, because your staff are your business. So if they need to ring you on Saturday to let you know that they're not going to be available to open the doors of the business on Monday morning, you need to be available for that. So say hello if you're out there and you're listening. Say hello if you're running a business. Give me an idea of what sort of size business or what industry you're in. You never know, we might be able to put a few of you together and actually help each other grow your own businesses. Feel free just to shout on and say hello. What's a major warning sign that's hidden in your diary? Anyone, any answers? No allowance for thinking time. So, this morning I had my first session that finished at 10:30. I then had a half-an-hour window before my next session began, in order for me to reflect on my first session. What could I have done better? What went well? What went poorly? How can we improve things for next time? And so on. You've got to develop thinking time in your business. If your calendar has zero space for strategy, planning, reflection, or innovation, you are trapped operationally. If your calendar is full every single minute of the day between 8 and 8, how on earth are you supposed to get anything done for your business? The boss needs thinking space. Otherwise, we all just become really expensive administrators. Anybody out there want to say hello, engage, tell me it's rubbish, whatever it might be? It's perfectly fine. No? Okay, right. So, what's the first step to working on the business? Document what you repeatedly do. We go back to those small repeating tasks again. Document it, write a standard operating procedure for it. Every repeated task should eventually become a checklist, a system, a process, or a delegated responsibility to somebody else in your team. Your business should live in systems, not inside your head. Again, if everything's in here and you go away for 2 weeks, how are your staff supposed to operate without you? Why do small businesses stay stuck for years? I get this a lot in the coaching that I do with small to medium enterprises, that they reach a ceiling, whether it's 100,000, whether it's 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, 5 million, doesn't matter, but everybody has a ceiling somewhere and they just can't seem to get past it. Small businesses tend to optimize survival instead of designing growth. We live in the day-to-day. They react daily instead of planning quarterly. Reactive businesses just drift. We drift along. Intentional businesses move to scale. It really is that simple. And taking on a business coach will create you the headspace, which will allow you the space to talk to somebody outside of the organisation about your worries, about your concerns, about the fact you've not got enough to meet payroll at the end of the week. I have a lot of those conversations, just sounding board. You know, well, what do I do? What do I do to do this? I have tools that I can use with businesses. All people have to do is engage and ask and talk to me, and I'll share those tools. Which is why I really started the Director's Toolkit. I mean, I know it sounds terrible, but over the last 30 years, I have created hundreds, and I mean hundreds of documents, of templates, of minutes, meeting minutes, agendas, thought documents, standard operating procedures, policies and procedures. I've done it. I've created thousands of them. So what I did, I put together an Etsy store, so you can go and buy them. You buy them off the shelf now. So you don't actually need to talk to me. You can just go straight onto my Etsy store. Just drop the link in the chat, and just go and buy them. You know, you really got to intentionally choose to make your business scale, and then put the policies and procedures in place so that the staff can run it without you. You know, what's the real purpose of systems? Freedom. Great systems create consistency, scalability, better customer experiences. That means more reviews. Less stress, better delegation. Your staff understand, excuse me, where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing, and who they're supposed to be doing it with. You know, systems aren't corporate nonsense. They're just sanity. They're a protection for you, that you know things are, going the way that you want them to go. So feel free to say hello, give us a wave, thumbs up, drop us a love heart, whatever it might be. Let us know that you're out there. You know, tell us what sort of business you're running. Tell us some of your business problems if you want. We'll see if we can solve them tonight while we're on live online. Okay, so how can owners tell if they're micromanaging? If you're rewriting your staff emails, if you're checking every decision, if you're sitting in every meeting, if you're approving tiny purchases, and you're constantly just tweaking people's work, you're not leading, You're hovering. You're micromanaging. Stand back. Give the people the opportunity to do the job that you've paid them to do. Give them that opportunity. Tell them your door is always open. If they are unsure, they can come and ask. Create a friendly, supportive environment. Learn some coaching skills. I've got some great books as resources if you want them. I'll happily recommend books to you all day long. What you can't see behind me, because I've got this daft background on that's giving me a bit of a halo, is I have bookshelves absolutely full of business books. Coaching, governance, Companies Act, Charity Commission law, you name it, I've got books on it. I've spent 30 years collecting them. Why do some businesses never scale beyond a certain point? Because the owner becomes the ceiling. The business can only grow to the level the owner can personally control. That's exhausting and eventually dangerous.